Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Pisces May 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, as far as May goes, Venus will be in Taurus from the 15th until the 31st. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, if you're unattached Pisces, you may connect with a Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person. Maybe somebody you may have known from your early education, somebody you might know through short journeys. It could be a neighbor. And also, too, this could be about really valuing a lot of persistence, perseverance, and patience. It could be in matters pertaining to your communications, matters with siblings, with cousins, with neighbors. Maybe you'll buy a Ford Taurus at this time. No, I'm only joking. I'm being flippant as far as that goes. Well, anyway, could be about really enjoying Taurus things with third house people, such as creature comforts, just things of a monetary nature. It could be getting certain possessions, or could be doing Taurus like things such as something with endurance, such as long distance running. It could just be simply playing a game of Monopoly. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, as far as May goes, Mars will be in Gemini from the 1st until the 16th. So the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, you may find yourself enjoying manifold things at home. It could be also a time where you might become rather angry at perhaps maybe a family member or someone you're close to home with that might be gossiping, someone that's very vacillating and mercurial and two-faced. It could also be where, if you're unattached at this time, Pisces, you may get involved with a sexual liaison or interlude with a Gemini. It could be a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Gemini characteristics or traits. It could be someone you feel very close to home with too. Somebody maybe that you might you're not just close to home with, but it could be somebody that could be figure very prominently in the latter part of your life. And also too, you might find yourself perhaps getting angry maybe at some Gemini qualities at your core, which could be connected with being overly, maybe somewhat scattered, or somebody, or maybe vacillating, mercurial, really maybe just lacking certain persistence or being overly superficial. It might be a time where you might be recognizing some of these qualities, although they may be somewhat buried. So anyway, next thing up, as far as May goes, Mars will be in Cancer from the 16th until the 31st. So the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, well, it could be you might be dealing with more contentious, might be certain contentious, acrimonious experiences with, could be family members, that could be children, or somebody you're in a romantic situation with. And it could be just contentious situations with your home and your family life. Might be impacting your fun, amusement, and enjoyment at this time. You might also find yourself injecting a lot of energy into family fun and amusement at this time, and also perhaps Cancerian type hobbies, such as maybe collecting, doing things that are nostalgic, doing something connected with the water, such as playing like water polo or swimming, or it could be doing some kind of maybe just puttering around the home, doing some kind of light home remodeling. Anyway, the next thing is that you can also, if you're unattached at this time, Pisces, you might get involved in a sexual liaison or interlude with a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or one that embodies Cancerian traits, but it might just be a superficial thing. You might find yourself maybe taking action on some kind of a home investment at this time as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Jupiter will be in Sagittarius as far as still. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you might find yourself putting a lot of, this could manifest in a lot of exuberance and enthusiastic traveling abroad in your career. Perhaps it could also, at this time, as I've talked about in previous videos, that Jupiter, though being very strongly benign and benevolent, could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand, be very paradoxical. In some cases, this may expand rather foolhardy, self-righteous, over-optimistic, even reckless tendencies, perhaps in matters with authority figures, or maybe people prominent in your career, perhaps as well. Even the dominant parent, which is often the father. It could also be about maybe publishing something Sagittarius related that might get you certain exposure, notoriety, and recognition. It could be something actually associated with advertising or something connected with sports, the law, anything that could be Sagittarius related. Could be something connected with traveling, expanding horizons. Also too, this could also be about very fortuitous for expanding your horizons in your career in general, and also perhaps a lot of enthusiasm, being that incorrigible optimist, which could help your reputation, your public image at this time, and also maybe attaining a greater stature in life. So anyway, and also maybe this could be about humorous, maybe at this time, maybe dealing with humorous Sagittarius type people that are in some kind of business as well. Or anyway, next thing up, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you might find yourself dealing with certain restrictions and limitations in matters connected with your friends, your acquaintances, goals, aspirations. It could also be about taking care of a debilitated or sickly stepchild, perhaps, or a friend or an acquaintance might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy, and it might be tied in with something with the knees, the bones, or the joints. Also too, this could be about doing maybe some kind of laborious government related work as a goal or aspiration, and also gaining structure and discipline in goals, aspirations, matters with your friends at this time. And also it could be about taking strong responsibility toward group-related matters, clubs, organizations, and also just working very hard, laboriously and consistently, perhaps toward your future at this time. Anyway, next thing up, Uranus will still be in Taurus, so the 3rd house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, you might be dealing with certain unusual, obstinate behavior, perhaps from cousins, siblings, or neighbors. Your communications at this time might be a little bit more sporadic and erratic. Now, Taurus friendships at this time, they could be Taurus Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or ones that embody Taurus traits, might figure more prominently in your short journeys, your transportation, your communication. It could be also where some ideas might come very spontaneously and extemporaneously. It could also manifest perhaps in just more ingenious thinking at this time, and formulation of new financial ideas which you really love to communicate perhaps as well. And also it could be about more weird, maybe more attuned to futuristic transportation at this time as well. And also too, it could be something you strongly value, since Taurus energy is involved. And also too, you might be dealing with more enigmatic or unusual issues with your car or your vehicle at this time. So anyway, next thing up, Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 1st house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, you may come across a little bit more deceptive and duplicitous on a first impression. This could be about, you need to be careful at this time, Pisces. You have a greater propensity, I believe, than the other zodiac signs toward alcohol and drug use, so you really need to be careful with this Neptune transit going on. And also too, this could be about the dissipation or dissolving of your vitality and your energy. People in your early childhood may be somewhat more nebulous or unclear, or they might start to dissipate, although the connections may dissolve at this time. Could also be about Neptune type new beginnings. It could be something connected, say, with chemistry or poetry, dancing, the metaphysical, which includes astrology, photography, something connected with illusions, such as starting some work as a magician, something with spirituality. And also, too, you have to be careful, because it might be a time where you might be a greater propensity perhaps towards some Neptune related illness, such as something with the lymphatic system, something with the feet or the toes at this time as well. And anyway, could also manifest perhaps in an accidental chemical assimilation, so just be very careful at this time. You might be also feel, again, this could be a time when you might feel more lethargic, and your energy and vitality may be dissipating and dissolving. I think a lot of this could especially be true if this transit of Mars is making an adverse aspect, say, to your Sun at this time as well. You might feel more like fantasizing and daydreaming as opposed to actually doing something. Hold on a moment, people. Well, last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 11th house as well be emphasized and highlighted. Now, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the D word, but I'm going to anyway. In some cases, this may manifest in the actual or literal death of a stepchild, or a friend or an acquaintance, or somebody you might have a strong rapport with in a group, club, or organization. Avoid obsessive and compulsive behavior in matters with friends and acquaintances at this time. And also, you might be dealing with more power struggles with 11th house people, such as stepchildren, friends, people you might know, maybe even in social media, through social networking. And also, you want to guard against perhaps manipulative behavior and trying to attain goals and aspirations at this time. But it could also be about trying to get power over your future. It could be powerful authority figures, maybe even people in the government might be figuring more prominently in your future at this time. It could also manifest in having Plutonian aspirations and goals, such as something connected with the occult, supernatural, astrology, insurance, doing something work connected with death, such as working as a coroner or a mortician, perhaps anything connected with some kind of transformation. It could even be doing some recycling or rebuilding of some kind. So, and also maybe gaining power through social networking and social media. And you might be also dealing with very powerful friends that might be in some position of authority, or might be ones that are just very authoritative. So anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Pisces May 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be giving you my take on the May 18th, 2019 full moon in Scorpio. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you. Make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.